Gather around the fire, children. It's story time with Uncle Moonlambo. I tell you, I am here to soothe your pain. I know the market's not looking so hot. I am aware of how low the price of XRP has gotten, but I've got some data that I firmly believe is going to make you feel a lot better. My friends, the savvy investors have been accumulating. I have evidence of this, and I firmly believe personally that this bull market is not over. Large consolidations happen in bull runs. They absolutely do, from 2015 to 2017, leading up to what was then the biggest bull action for Bitcoin in its entire history. You know, running up from I guess in 2015 it was probably at some point sub $1,000. I'd have to pull up a chart, but anyway, over the 2-year period it ran up to 20 grand, right? Well, over that time period though, there were I think it was 9 major pullbacks that averaged to 37% down. And so I want to share with you specifics from one of the most popular analysts in all of crypto, who just states things so plainly, so matter-of-factly, so confidently, and confidence rightfully placed, I would say, that I think once you go through it and just listen to this all at the level head, you're going to feel a lot better. And specifically, a lot of this does have to do with Bitcoin, but that's important for XRP holders because, frankly, whether we like it or not, Bitcoin leads the market, XRP follows along with every other coin in the asset class, and that's okay. And so look, to set the tone for this video, I've done something very nice and thoughtful for you, just to kind of maybe chill you down, like bring it down a notch or two. I've got a cute doggy on your screen right now, and it is slurping up rain droplets. How can you feel sad or depressed or anxious or any of those things when this cuteness is happening in the world? Ah, yes, look at that silent video playing on loop. All is right in the world. I don't know about you, I just happen to love dogs. Dogs make life happier. My fellow dog owners out there know exactly what I'm talking about. But look, I do want to be clear at the outset, I don't have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys talking about topics having to do with XRP and Ripple and Bitcoin and crypto in general, but that is all that's going on here. And so as I record this, XRP is at 76.5 cents, Bitcoin's at $35,603. Market cap for the asset class, 1.48 trillion. Bitcoin dominance at 44.9%. And we did see XRP within the last 24 hours crash down to as low as 74.5 cents. Now, just for frame of reference, I'm recording this at a weird time because I'm not married and I don't have any kids that I'm aware of anyway. And so as I record this, it is 2:09 a.m. Central Standard Time. I live in the United States in the good old Midwest, so you're a future person. You know more about price action than me, but this is where it's at right now, and I don't mind seeing this right now. I'm thinking about how I've held XRP and never sold. I've been holding since November 2017. And I saw XRP as low as 11 cents in March of last year. These markets are just volatile. This is par for the course. And I know a lot of you listening may be newer to crypto and maybe haven't been holding XRP as long. Maybe you purchased at $1 or above that, or who knows, maybe even closer to $2 if you purchased in April. I understand that. And so I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold. But I can tell you that for the vast majority of the last 3.5 years, my investment in XRP was down most of that time. Sometimes I was at about break even, but most of that time I was down, and I didn't lose a wink of sleep. I was perfectly fine because I understand the nature of market cycles, how it's driven by human psychology. Like fundamentals, like it or not, frankly today don't even matter a whole lot here. It's like this stuff does not bother me. And so seeing XRP, which was at 11 cents in March of last year, run up in April this year to $2, is now back down at 76 cents. I'm like, okay, I'm not selling. I sure as hell am not selling personally. I'm happy to be transparent about that. That's not enticing me. When the price goes down, that does not entice me to sell. That's what investors do, that to frankly emotionally use emotions to make buying and selling decisions. Yeah, the price goes down, and that makes them want to sell. For me, it makes it less enticing to do so. I just refuse. I'm just not going to do it. And I understand the nature of market cycles, so it's a bunch of nonsense. I don't care. And you can see here, like, I'm not saying this to freak you out, but I cover the good sounding news and the bad sounding news and everything in between on this channel. This is not a hype channel. I do think there are a ton of reasons to be really excited about XRP. Absolutely. It's my largest crypto holding. It's personally my favorite cryptocurrency. But I want to talk about the stuff that maybe sounds scarier or not as favorable for XRP. And here was a tweet from a chart analyst that I respect. I think he does a good job, and he wrote the following. This is his most recent tweet. A dump to the weekly cannot be ruled out at this point. He's talking about XRP here, 54 to 60 cents. Now, he's not saying that's going to happen, but he thinks potentially it could. He's frequently right. So it doesn't mean that it is going to happen, but I'm just sharing this to warn you, get your emotions in check. Because if you're not prepared for drops like this, especially if you bought higher than that, I know what the human mind does. I am well aware. I happen to have a human mind, believe it or not. Despite my stupid Moon Lambo name and my silly behavior on the YouTube channel, I promise I do have a normal human brain. I really do, and so I'm susceptible to the same types of human emotions. But when it comes to these markets, I've been around enough that these markets specifically actually do not impact me. The last time I was scared about price action and I felt emotion, and I didn't act on it, but the last time I even felt an emotion that was negative or scary was August of 2018 when XRP dropped down to 25 cents. And so I could have acted on that and I could have sold, and then I would have missed XRP running up to $2 in April of this year. And I don't think that that's the greatest of the fireworks yet, so I'm glad that I'm here. Here's a headline that I'm not going to run through the story, but this is from Cointelegraph. Bitcoin may lose a $30,000 price level if stocks tank, analysts warn. Now that sounds super duper scary, right? Maybe, but where's this come from? It comes from a thread from one of the most popular analysts in all of crypto, Willy Woo, who on Twitter actually has 572,000 followers. Now, he happens to not be a fan of Ripple, not a fan of XRP, but, the way that I operate in life is if you disagree with me on politics and religion and crypto or any topic, that doesn't make you my enemy. I think that we should be able to be adults and thoughtfully disagree with one another. Now, I understand in crypto and politics and religion, this results in humans showing their tribal nature, and I get that. I respect people that are able to recognize that's not necessarily ideal in 2021 here. And just like repress that. Even if you start to feel it like tinge on up in there, just to repress the urge to act in a tribal manner. And so that's what I'm always striving for. And I'm not perfect either, but I think I do a pretty darn good job of pushing that type of stuff back. But so I don't need people to agree with me to be my friends, and I love thoughtful discourse because I know that I don't know everything. In fact, I know that there are things that I firmly believe that are wrong. I just don't know which ones they are. So if somebody can come and articulate a case that'll persuade me to believe what is actually true, then I'll be thankful. I'm not going to be embarrassed or stupid. Like, let's just own the fact that we don't know stuff. And so we don't need tribalness. We don't need egos. I don't do that. That's the way that I live. I'm not going to do that. So that all said here, the fact that this guy doesn't like Ripple and doesn't like XRP doesn't take away from the fact that he does some good stuff when he's analyzing Bitcoin. So, hey, respect where it's due. And he's not mean and he's not trolly, so I'm happy to talk about his analysis on this channel. And so here is what Willy Woo wrote. And again, keep in mind as I'm going through this, this is really about Bitcoin primarily, but this is important because the market moves in tandem. This is important for you as an XRP holder to understand. And so here's what he wrote. Market update. In my opinion, from on-chain is sideways then bullish in maybe a week or so. Some downside risk of stonks tank, which is a slang term for stocks, stonks, a lot of rallying in the DXY USD strength, which is typical of money moving to safety. The first thing to look at is to answer, are we in a bear market? Welp, bear markets start when no new buyers enter to support price, and that ain't happening. We have healthy growth of new users joining the network. Please take that to heart right there. Before I read further, please take that to heart. Bear markets start when there are no new buyers to enter to support price, and that ain't happening, okay? And that's true not just of crypto, it's true of the stock market. And I'm going to show you another chart towards the tail end of this video that will show you the degree to which buyers are snatching up Bitcoin here. You don't see that after a bubble inflates and pops. When you're talking about a parabola, that's not what happens at the peak. It pops, and it doesn't just go sideways, it crashes. That is not what is happening here. So let me proceed now. Let this frame all other metrics. So this idea of new buyers coming in, the bear market, what I just cited there, let this frame all of the metrics. Of primary interest is capital rotation from stablecoins back into the crypto markets. And then in parentheses, he writes, I'll say that's mainly Bitcoin since altcoins are reducing in dominance. And then he continues, All of that dry powder sitting on the sidelines has started flowing back in. We had a huge sell-off by previously strong hands. And then parentheses he writes, looks like noob buyers that bought 1 minute to 6 minutes ago, into parentheses. You gotta love that. And he's right, though. He's right. Again, we had a huge sell-off by previously strong hands, which are actually just noobs who have been around 1 to 6 minutes. Well, there you go. And you got all the diamond hands until there's actually real negative price action, and then you're a lemming following the lemming in front of you off of a cliff to your own demise. That's exactly what you are if you're brand new and you don't know what the hell you're doing. That is what happens, and you don't have to be ashamed about it. Like, to be honest with you, if you're one of those people, it's okay. Like, pick yourself up, you're fine. Like, this happens. This absolutely happens. It's happened to just about everybody that's in crypto. That's how you gain your street cred, my friends, is by making terrible mistakes but learning from them. It's perfectly okay. I just hope that you didn't buy more than you were willing to lose if something like that has happened to you. But it's just a good lesson to not let emotions dictate whether you buy or sell. Use logic and data. Doesn't that sound like a better approach? So again, not telling you to buy or sell or hold. I'm encouraging to use logic and data rather than emotions. That's all I'm saying. That's it. And so Willy Woo continues. All of those coins that dumped onto the market needs time to be reaccumulated. This is happening now. Price action looks like an accumulation bottom because of this. Exchange flows. And then he cites the article. I'll read this, but you can kind of look here. Fine, I'll make it full screen. I wasn't going to do this. This is it in case you're wondering what he's talking about. I'm going to blow through this part of it though. But this is the part of the thread. I don't want to get into too much technical stuff, but there's not much. Don't worry. So anyway, exchange flows. 2 week equals solid red. 1 week equals dotted red. Showing that buying is happening, but not yet at an exaggerated pace. So likely we have some time to burn before upward price action can launch. And so if you're just listening and not looking at your screen, don't worry, you're not missing anything of substantial importance. I just want to go through this sequentially. And then he continues. So now let's look at some short range indicators. If you know we are in a bear market, which we know is the case, I need to cite this too. He corrected this later. He didn't mean to write bear market. He meant to write bull market. So let me correct it for him here, since he did later on. Actually, he wrote, if you know we are in a bull market, which we know is the case from user growth metrics, then SOPR resets near 1 is a great time to buy the dip. And again, that's technical jargon to get the overall picture of what I'm talking about, not necessary to understand. I don't go into a great level of detail and technical analysis on this channel. That is not what I do. Other people do it. They love doing it. They're great at doing it. I just, I want to get a general sense of what the market's doing. I love sharing opinions from all sorts of chart and analysts, but I think most people just want the ultimate opinion. I think most people are kind of like me and not quite as interested in all of the technical breakdown. And if you're one of those people that is interested, kudos to you. Like, awesome. All sorts of people are interested in different things. But I just want to explain why I'm kind of blowing through that part of it. Then he writes, NVT signal is in a no-brainer buy zone, short-term, which is a short-term signal. Now, this is where it gets more interesting. Using NVT to value the network, we are statistically oversold from fundamentals at historic levels. Now that's crucial to understand. When you get these lemmings running off a cliff one after the other, it's just when this emotional buying occurs, which will not stop happening. Like, human DNA is human DNA, and people are just going to act like this. It's been happening in the stock market for over 100 years, despite all of the publicly available data. This is not going to change in the stock market. It is not going to change in the crypto markets. So just take advantage of the fact that the knowledge is out there, and don't be one of the lemmings. Just don't be a lemming. Do whatever you want. Again, I don't care if you buy or sell or hold. Just don't be a lemming. Because right now, since the humans have done this, the humans have behaved in this way, it's resulted in a market that has sold off substantially more than would be really reasonable outside of this type of typical human behavior, right? And so he then writes, note we were devoid of a mania top before the sell-off. This sell-off happened when price was well within fair value, so it doesn't match the start of bear season. Ding, ding, ding. And if you've been listening to me for a while now, I've been talking about this, a number of times over the years, but I've also specifically been talking about it a lot since May 19th when the markets crashed. And I said, look, maybe we're in a bear market. I don't pretend to know for sure. Like, something could actually happen that is different than what has happened in the past. I just don't suspect that it will. But in the past, what signaled the end of the bull run was money cycling through the crypto sphere, the crypto economy. Always started in Bitcoin, but then it splinters off and goes into Ethereum and XRP, pick your coins. It goes into a bunch of different coins, and then it cycles. Random coins pop off at different times. And if you were here in late 2017 during the last bull cycle, you know that the tail end of the year, it was like every day multiple coins popping off, pure euphoria. You couldn't even pick a loser. Well, of course, until the bubble completely inflated and then popped, and then they became losers after that. Yes, but everything went up is my point here. We haven't seen that, and I've been pointing that out. And you have Willy Woo here, one of the most popular analysts on the channel, validating that concept. I firmly believe it. We haven't seen it yet. The best is yet to come. And when we do get towards the top, I will be putting like words of caution out there, saying, hey, again, do whatever you want, but I think that we're getting towards the tail end here. I am going to be screaming that from the rooftops when it's coming. And it doesn't mean I'm right, but it's just fun to talk about this stuff and be aware of it. And if anybody disagrees, it's perfectly fine. Happy to have a discussion about it, but I'm not going to be. Well, I tell you what, when XRP finally hits its all-time high again and enters a new realm of price discovery, I'm not going to be a channel that just purely hypes up. I'll be willing to cover opinions of all of the chart analysts, but I'm just telling you, when it looks like it's just gone parabolic, I'm going to be for real with you and just remind everybody that's willing to listen that, hey, when that happens, this isn't me being a Debbie Downer. I've been here for years and I'm pro XRP, but this is the way markets work. XRP, just like any other crypto that runs up and goes parabolic, eventually it hits a peak. That's a bubble. It will pop and it will tank with a vengeance. 80 to maybe 90+% decreases. Don't be surprised. It's going to happen with Bitcoin and every coin. It's not going to be unique to XRP, but it is coming. And so then Willy Woo wrote the following also. My only concern for downside risk is if we get a major correction in equities, which will pull Bitcoin price downwards no matter what the on-chain fundamentals may suggest. Noticing USD strength on the DXY, which suggests some investors moving to safety in the United States dollar. And so to be clear what he's talking about there, he's talking about the stock market. He's saying if the stock market tanks, that could pull down Bitcoin and then the rest of the crypto market along down with it, in which case the analysis, all these fundamentals which are positive, they go out the window at least temporarily. Doesn't mean that we're actually going to enter a bear market, but you could see some really scary price action. What if it does go below, Bitcoin does go below $30,000? Well, outside of something like that happening, I'd be very surprised based on what I'm seeing from the vast majority of reputable analysts that I follow. I would be surprised to see that go down, but I will not be surprised to see Bitcoin crash and XRP even further if we get this. And so savvy investors at that point, what do they do? If they're in the purchasing mood, I think a lot of them likely will choose to purchase. That's the way things work. When things are euphoric and prices are really high, might be time actually to be cautious. My gosh, are prices a bit inflated here? Might it be reasonable to take some profit? On the flip side, when prices are low and everything's scary, no one wants to touch something because price might keep going lower. Historically, in the stock market and in crypto, those are the times to purchase. It's just, but despite all of this being clear as day, even humans that are aware of it have trouble and I get it. Humans have trouble even utilizing that data, even if they know it's true, because it feels scary to buy when everybody else is panicking and you don't know where the bottom's going to be of something. But the data's the data. So, you respond how you want to. I'm just saying. Now take a look at this. Here's a tweet from somebody named Mr. Parabolic, and I think it was Credible Crypto, chart analyst Credible Crypto, that retweeted this. I think that's how I came across this anyway, but I'll pull up the chart here full screen in just a second, but it's just showing accumulation and the price of Bitcoin and what's happening. So check this out. This is about Bitcoin. A simple visualization of noobs selling to savvy bulls. It is so fascinating to watch this in slow motion. Then people bitch about the rich elite and why life is tough, etc. It's like, bro, you listen to an effing 20-year-old noob investor on Twitter. What you expect? 2 question marks, 1 exclamation point. So, which is a valid point. And so here's the chart. Here you go. Bitcoin total supply held by long-term holders. And so what you're seeing in yellow here is the total supply held by long-term Bitcoin holders. And this other line here, hopefully you can make it out on your screen, this is the price of Bitcoin over a span of roughly the last year. I think that's about right. And so you can see as the price rose, the long-term holders, there's fewer of them. What's happening? Well, as the price went up that high, they'd been holding probably since the lowest levels of $3,000 or $4,000 Bitcoin, and they were selling as people were euphoric and, oh my God, laser eyes, diamond heads, nothing is ever going to happen to make Bitcoin crash. As that type of mindset set in, these people were savvy and selling. And then what happened? The price tanked, and the people that were new panic sold back to the people that knew what the hell they were doing. So what happened? What have you been seeing since the crash in May? You've seen an increase in the total supply held by long-term Bitcoin holders. So congratulations. If you panic sold as Bitcoin crashed down to $30,000, your wealth has transferred into somebody that was reacting based on data rather than emotion. Congratulations. Doesn't make you feel good, I know. And if you did it, I know. I'm not picking on you. Look, everybody's done this. It's okay. It's how you get your street cred. It's cool, but you need to be aware of it so that you can make informed decisions in the future. Because to me, these are mistakes. But I keep seeing investors do it over and over and over again. So do whatever you want. Just be aware of as much data as possible. And so there we are. And so again, the reason all of this matters, to wrap this all up, is because XRP does follow the price action of Bitcoin. And so I don't care that Bitcoin dominance in the short term has been rising. It's going to tank as other altcoins pop off. And even Willy Woo right there, who's pro Bitcoin, I mean, I don't think that he could tell you with a straight face that all the large cap coins and mid cap coins, I don't think he'd tell you with a straight face that they're not going to pop off. He already acknowledged that in the thread that I just ran through. Without that happening, how could you possibly think that that's going to be, this is going to be the end of the bull run? And with new buyers actually stepping in, which this chart shows, these savvy investors, this shows that they're stepping back in as the noob investors are selling their fear. The people that are in the know are purchasing the fear. There you are. Take it for what it's worth. And so I think that the best days for XRP are yet ahead. I do believe it will hit its all-time high. If you're stressed and scared, it's okay. You're just a normal human. That doesn't make you terrible or weak or this or that. But arm yourself with data so that you don't have to feel like that, because you don't have to feel like that. Even if you're down right now, these are the markets. I always say it's like, for me, what I tell myself is anytime I buy a crypto, I assume that I didn't buy the bottom, and at some point in the future, it will be worth less than when I purchased it. And so far, that has been true 100% of the time I have ever purchased anything. Period. And I own a couple dozen different cryptocurrencies. It's been true 100% of the time, and it doesn't matter. If you have a sufficiently long time horizon and you understand market cycles, to me, it doesn't matter anyway. And so I don't care. I think XRP will hit its all-time high. I think it will enter a new realm of price discovery, and I'd be surprised if it didn't hit at least $10 this market cycle, just given how far Ethereum's gone and the fact that Ethereum and XRP had the same peak in terms of market cap just about last market cycle. I won't be surprised. So in fact, what if Ethereum runs up to like $10,000? It ran up to $4,400 already. What if it goes up to 10 grand? And XRP matches that, then you're looking at whatever it would be. I'd have to run the numbers, $20 or $25 XRP. So I don't know if that's going to happen. I'm not making a price prediction. I'm just saying that I'd kind of be surprised if XRP didn't hit at least that $10 mark just based on what we've already seen. And the best is still yet ahead. So again, take it for what it's worth. I'll stop yammering on. I am not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.